This is it. We're rolling episode 633. No Laugh Track podcast here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. My name is Justin Severson, here with one of my favorite people, someone who's been here multiple times. One of the people who I think you can really count on having a week every year at Acme.
Yes.
And that is Jackie Kashian.
Let us knock on wood.
Yeah.
That continues.
Yeah, that's not changing now.
Yeah, that's not changing.
That's
this
not
is
changing
it.
now.
It's all right.
How are you?
Well, I'm happy to be back. I had a really fun show last night.
Yes.
Because it's Thursday. You always record on Thursday,
I
day
try
after
to.
the first show.
Mm-hmm.
And super fun. It was such a great crowd. It was Insider Night, and so packed. It was also contest.
Yeah, funniest person's going on.
4 contestants. The 2 in the middle won. There was a tie.
Are we sure about that?
That's what I was told. They both got Chad Daniels T-shirts as their gifts.
So I could tell you, my youngest daughter had T-ball last night, so I wasn't able to arrive on time.
Okay.
I didn't get here until about 8:35.
Oh, there you go.
So I missed whoever was hosting.
Right.
I missed all of the contestants.
Right.
And I came out. And then
Brandy?
and Brandy Brown was on stage.
Yeah, you came with. She's featuring.
Yep,
Yeah,
she's
Brandy.
featuring, which
She's
I
great.
expected. I
She's
knew.
great.
I knew
Yep.
she was going to be featuring for you, so that was not unexpected. And then John Deboer came out, and I'm like,
What's happening?
What's going on here?
Yeah. There was a miscommunication between Lily, who will be hosting the rest of the weekend,
Oh, she's great.
and then last night. So we were all slightly worried about her. Everyone was like, "No, she's super reliable," and I'm like, "Yeah, she's a comic.
Yeah.
She's going to be reliable for the stage time." I don't know that I've met her, but I might have. My brain's a sieve.
Sure.
So
yeah.
all I have inside of it are the new jokes.
I know that you have a tendency to reintroduce yourself to people, so that could happen.
That is true. I look forward to meeting each and every one of you over and over again. Just imagine. This is the only weird thing about that, because it might be that face thing where I have I don't recognize people, or it might be self-absorption. We'll never know. But what we do know is that I don't remember anybody, including people who don't like me. And so people who don't like me, when I reintroduce myself to them, get to be mean to me over and over again and go, yeah.
Wait a minute, has this happened?
Yeah. People, I forget that, like, some people don't particularly like me. And so I'll be like, hey, how's it going? I'm Jackie. And they're like, yeah. And
What's the setting of this? Like backstage at a comedy club?
Backstage
outside
at
of a comedy club?
usually comedy festivals are the worst.
Because it's people you don't normally see.
Right, they're out of context, and and there's lots of them.
Yeah.
Some bookers are not, like, they don't go in a Jackie Kashian direction.
Sure.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
And so,
I want to know when do you realize that there was this bad blood that you'd forgotten?
right, what was that woman's name? Her name was, and you would think I'd remember, but we had a disagreement, like an actual disagreement, and then I saw her again, and I was like, I think her name was like, no, it's gone. Whatever it was, let's just say it was Elizabeth or whatever, and I just go, hey, Elizabeth, good to see you. Like, I recognize these people sometimes. Because there was an emotional enough moment that they stuck in my brain somehow. Sure. I don't remember that it was a negative emotional moment. And so I think the last time, I think her name was Holly. Anyway, I was like, Holly, how's it going? And she was like, it's fine. And then she literally just turned and walked away from me. No. And I was like, and as she walked away, I was like, oh, right. She doesn't like me. Okay. And I was like, all right. I mean, there's no reason not to like me. Are you kidding? I'm enormously likable.
Darn right. I'll fight anybody.
That's it.
We
ride at dawn.
I want to be that person that you go up to right after that to go, guess what just happened?
Guess what?
That Holly's here.
Yeah, Holly's here, and she has never enjoyed me. And it turns out I keep forgetting. And that's
whatever. So funny. So before we move on from last night, I want to point out that we're going to talk about your set, but I want to say that you nailed the ending like you always do of your set.
Sure.
Strong joke. Boom. You're like, just like that. And then you just stood here on stage.
Waiting for young John Deboer to come on out.
Now, normally what happens here at Acme, the
Headliner
headliner will
ends.
finish their set, and then the MC will come out and basically say, "Thanks everybody, that's the show. Get home safe." Or if
Yep.
there's the contest, they will crown the
Yeah,
announce
they
the
will
winner of the
announce the
evening.
winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But last night,
That was that. Well, John pinch hit. He happened to come out just to see this show,
awesome.
and as showtime approached, and I guess this is the third or fourth time where he's had to sub for somebody.
I've been here before for that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's I guess Pete went to a baseball game and so
about that
there was some trouble, and John happened to be here, and they're like, "Hey, John, want to do at least a 25-minute guest set?"
Crazy. You were just
So-
coming to watch, but
Right, and John is, like any great comic, is like, yes, I would love to do some time. Thank you for asking. And so he just did like 5 or 6 up front.
okay.
Brought up the people, the contestants, brought up Brandy, and then brought up me, and then he was having a cigarette. I think he thought I was going to do longer.
Yeah.
But I kept it to a sort of a tight 45 because there had been contestants.
Yeah.
And I thought the show was running kind of long. And I have the new album out. And so I'm kind of done with that material to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was working on all new material as much as I could, right? There's still some of the stuff from Altercation is in the set.
Yeah.
And the closer's the same. But it was a tight 45.
Yeah.
And so he was out having a cigarette. And then I was like, where the hell is he? And then I was doing the math in my head, tiny clock. And it turns out I did 45 and I was fine. And we had to wait. So essentially the audience and I talked amongst ourselves. And
Can you remember a time that's happened before?
terrible time. The worst club I've ever worked in my life was in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay.
And I was run by a dirtbag named Russ Rivas. And
You remember his name?
I remember his name because his wife picked me up at the airport, and I had texted her and said that my flight was delayed. And the first thing she said to me was, "This is incredibly polite. Usually people don't tell me, and then I end up waiting for a long time." And I was like, "Who are you booking?" And then I was driven, and then as we drove, we were just talking about first and last time I was at this club, and she was like, "What's gonna?" So welcome to the club. You should know that if we don't like you, we won't have you back. And I was like, what? Who are you booking? The second time I thought that, she drops me off at a comedy condo, which is always a red flag. This comedy condo I was sharing with a guy I knew a little bit, was featuring, is a friend of my friend Karen Rontowski's. And the iron was actually chained to the wall. And an iron, an $11 item that is chained to the wall is another time that you'll ask yourself, who are you booking? Because who is stealing an $11 iron? And then I did sets all week. It was $7 to get into this club, which was less than a movie at that time. And the MC was also the fry cook, who I worked with several years later as a feature. But he was fry cooking on the Saturday. He was actually working and also MCing. And so the feature finished, and he was nowhere to be seen. He was dropping chicken nuggets or something.
Right.
And so the feature was just standing there. And finally I just yelled at the feature, "Hey, just bring me up. We're tag teaming." And so he brought me up. And the other reason, so then Russ Rivas, I walked into the office to get, not to get paid, I think like the day before. And Russ Rivas was making out with his manager.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's another good sign.
Another good sign.
Yeah.
That the club is run by madmen.
Yikes.
And then at the end of the weekend, the Saturday night, this is a tip for younger comics. If you do never want to work somewhere, and they try to hand you a check, go, no, I'll take cash. And the guy was like, he was such a mess. He was such a mess and then she was writing out the check, and I said, "Don't finish that. I'm gonna need," because it was $1,200.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Just give me $1,200." And then some woman from the audience drove me to the airport the next morning at like 4:30.
Oh my God.
Because I was outside the thing. I was kind of, because they were so mean to me the whole week. And I was half shaking. And one of the, like just a woman who was about my age now. So this is like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
This woman comes up to me. She was like, "You were so funny. That was really fun." And I was like, "Thanks." And she was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "What?" And I said, "Now I have to get to the airport." And it was pre-Lyft Uber.
Sure. Oh,
and
yeah.
she was like, "I'll come pick you up." And I was like, "In 4 hours?" Because it was midnight. And she goes, "Yes, I will drive you to the airport in Albuquerque."
Crazy.
So the people of Albuquerque are a delight.
Apparently.
That club is now closed
Okay.
because it was run by idiots.
Did you end up hearing other horror stories from other people that work there around the same time? No.
No, people, whenever I say Russ Rivas, all comics who know are like, "Oh, that guy."
Ah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I
also
think
the
that, yeah.
The when they said to you, "We won't book you back if we don't like you." I mean, that's sort of
That's a given.
yeah.
Yeah.
Duh. I
Yeah.
mean,
It turns
right.
out that's how the industry works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you, for some reason, make them so much money
I guess.
that they are forced.
Yeah.
But I know very few people who are forced to do anything in stand-up comedy.
Right.
Comedy's one of those industries that you're just like, if money is the club owners that are super interested in money usually are interested in tens of thousands of dollars. There's no Elon Musk's of the comedy industry.
No.
The closest is that guy who owns Helium.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
because that guy's really good at business. And so he has sold a Ticketmaster seat engine.
Oh, geez.
It's called Seat Engine.
Oh.
And almost every club in the country uses it. And
Oh,
so
that's
it
his?
is, yeah.
Oh, geez.
It is passive income that I understand. I'm sure he's bought an island. And and then he owns like 7 clubs, him and his consortium of they're the they're the most businessy of businesses.
Yeah.
Which is why they still book people that are dodgy as fuck. But
I saw a quote from you. I think this ties in right now. Is you had a quote? It was from maybe a few weeks ago, and this is gonna be my version of it.
paraphrase.
This is my paraphrasing. People, and it's about, you were talking about clean comedy, and like people, and people in the audience, you build your own audience,
Right.
And if shitty ones are showing up, it's because you built that shitty audience.
Yes. It is the only punishment when people say that they've been canceled. Nobody's been canceled. Louis C.K. isn't living check to check, right? It's all working out. His only punishment is his fan base. It's a bunch of douche nozzles, right? I mean, there are a bunch of guys who defend blocking doorways with your dick in your hand. That's your only punishment. And he had, I mean, if you think about it historically, he had the coolest. I was a fan. I mean, I thought his premise work was amazing.
Yeah?
Like the guy, he would go so honest and so deeply into his own psyche that we were all kind of blown away, and we were like, this is amazing. But then when it came out that he had sort of a terrible thing, right, that he would do to people, and he would do it sometimes consensually and sometimes where he paid people, and sex work is work, we all know it, and then sometimes without consent. And he could not write the joke about the times when he did it without consent.
Yeah.
So that then he could, I mean, because there's nothing wrong with doing it with consent, and there's nothing wrong with doing it when you paid someone who's an adult to watch you do it. But if you're doing it against somebody's will, and then your management company is threatening those people with "don't tell anybody, otherwise you're not going to work," then you're a dingbat and a doormat, and it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 100 years old, so I'm like, that isn't okay, you guys.
Be better.
Right, when every comic in their 20s and 30s is like, no, murder him. Bury him head first in the sand and paint his feet with honey and release ants. And,
I recently, Howard Stern recently interviewed Weird Al. And
Yeah.
He was, did you hear this at all?
No.
And he was like, I want to know, like, he seems like he never gets angry. So he calls him back in the studio, and he's like, Al, if you have like road rage, you get mad at somebody. Do you get mad? Have you ever gotten mad? He goes, I just get disappointed. Imagine that, like,
This is so people always complain about the driving in LA and stuff. And I was talking to this guy who was like so zen. I don't know how he does it. I assume some inner work, possibly. Don't know. But somebody asked him, they said, how do you keep your temper, like for example, on the highway? And the guy goes, well, the main thing is I just drive my car.
Oh. Don't worry about the other ones?
Yeah. He doesn't yell at the other people. He's just like, I'm going to get out of your way. It's my turn to go. I'm going to go next. You're going to go next. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to speed up. He's like, it really solves a lot of the problems with the driving in Los Angeles. Since he told me that, it always makes me laugh. Whenever I almost get mad on the highway.
It's
I always
working,
go,
you're saying?
Yeah. I'm like, why don't you drive your car? And then let that person drive their car.
Yeah.
And then you get away from them.
Yeah.
Because you don't enjoy how they're driving their car. Yes.
I almost had a incident driving here to talk to you at Acme. I was over doing the River Road there.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy's crossing the street in front of me, and all of a sudden just stops. And he wasn't crossing where you're supposed to, and he just stopped. So I thankfully was paying attention, and I stopped. Didn't hit him. His earbud fell out in the middle of the street.
And he had to pick it up.
He had to pick it up.
Yeah, because they're $300. Yeah. I was driving to the airport a couple of weeks ago. Where was I going? It was Portland, Oregon. And 4:30 in the morning. I was only going for 2 days. I was doing that Livewire Luke Burbank radio show.
Oh, I saw you promote
interview.
this, yeah.
Yeah, and he, so I was just going to park the car at the airport. And it was 4 o'clock in the morning. And my neighborhood, it's not, it's not that usually crazy. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, it's almost never crazy. A woman about my age and my size ran into traffic naked.
Oh.
And she was naked at 4:30 in the morning. And I was like, what the hell was that? And I almost hit her. And then I was, of course, very upset. And I was like, well, I have to get to the airport. I can't help the lady. And I felt bad.
Yikes.
I had 15 minutes. So I stopped at a CVS. Because sometimes CVS will sell like sweatpants and T-shirts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And slides. And they, for the first time ever, they didn't have anything. And so I just kept going. And so all I did was think good thoughts. And I hope that lady found clothes and safety.
Wow.
But I felt so bad for her. And my husband, who is a better person than all of us, said, do you want to keep sort of like sweatpants and T-shirts and sort of sandals, like beach sandals in the car? Like a couple of different sizes? And I'm like, yes. And
wow.
Right.
Like
and
mobile, survival
like,
kit.
Just in case, right. I'm like, I don't have a toothbrush or mouthwash or anything, but it's like, so we went to Ross Dress for Less, where things are on sale.
Sure.
And there was a Milwaukee Brewers T-shirt that was like $4.99.
Oh, this was meant to be then.
Yeah. The one in L.A. The one in L.A. So
nobody else was going to buy that Brewers sweatshirt.
No one was buying the Wisconsin T-shirts. Right. So.
So when you were here last year, we were talking about you were kind of finalizing the material that you were going to record for Altercation,
right?
Which is out now.
Up now, and it's everywhere. And get this. So I have 3 specials. I have the Comedy Central special from the 12th century, 2003, half hour. That's on Comedy Central stage website. And then I have a 10-minute thing I did during lockdown where I did 10 minutes of car jokes into the ass camera of a Mazda 6 in reverse.
That's right.
Called Looking Back. And that's on my website. But the 3 that I've done, 2 here at the Acme, that are also albums, are This Will Make an Excellent Horcrux and Staycation. Are all of my, and now Altercation, are on my YouTube channel now, which they were on a different label's YouTube channel because they were like, we have like 100,000 people, and you'll make more money if you're on our channel. And it was on there for 4 years, and I made like $600. And I was like, hey, if it's not going to make any money, it might as well go sit on my channel. How about that?
Yeah.
So Altercation, Staycation, and Horcrux are all on my YouTube channel now.
They have ads. Did you get to choose where the ads go?
No.
No.
I don't. if anyone knows how to do that, feel free to email me, Jay.
Oh, I mean,
because
I've asked that question to people before, and they have had a say in that.
Oh, really? Because if I could place the ads at a place that wasn't in between
That's what I'm saying.
the beginning of a punchline and the end of it,
Yeah.
that'd be outstanding.
I've heard this is possible.
Okay, I will look into that.
Okay,
then.
yeah.
That's okay. Thank you.
I've heard that this is very possible. Yeah, I don't know
Right,
how much
and
work
then-
it is, if it costs more or what, but it's possible.
Right. Well, and I would do it for the podcast too, because the Dork Forest and the Jackie and Laurie show also have ads.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and they are kind of...
Just in the middle of a sentence.
Yeah, you're right. It is sort of like, did I hit a button?
Right.
Yes.
You're like, Maria Bamford's doing an amazing, she's doing a new album, and I opened for her, and we've been friends since '92. But she has this joke about listening to a podcast, and it's this Belgian woman who's a therapist, and she talks about very heavy stuff, like the death of a child, or like but then she does an ad. She does her own ads. So it'll be like, today we are going to discuss polyamory. And so we will find out who likes to be CC'd and who likes to be BCC'd. And HelloFresh. And you're like, what? So, I mean, it'd be great to be able to place it's different when you can place the ad.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I did
absolutely.
Omaha Steaks advertised on the Dork Forest. And
Oh, I've heard it. Yes, I've heard
and
it.
it was great. They sent me like 2 giant boxes of meat so that I had something to talk about. And I was like, guess what? You don't actually have to pay me. Just send me a box of meat every month. Even though
Yeah.
my least favorite meat is the skinless, boneless chicken breast. But
They
that's
load
fine.
it up with that, don't they?
Well, and I can give those to Lori Kilmartin, whose taste buds were shot off in the Franco-American War by Chef Boyardee. Oh my God, she has the worst taste buds.
Hey, on the way home from here last night, I put it on an episode of the Dork Forest.
Oh, which one?
Will Wheaton.
Oh, birds. He's turned into a birder, Will Wheaton.
Very interesting.
Very
I
interesting.
mean,
though.
yeah, I'm a little bit younger than him, but not. I mean, we're about the same age.
Yeah. And he's plug and play. It's
yeah,
awesome.
Totally.
Yeah.
Highly recommend that episode. I mean, it's a great podcast. It's been around forever.
20 years.
Yeah, Will Wheaton.
It'll be at the
Great
beginning of our 21st year in September.
Think about how many podcasts were even around when you started. It was like
3?
3, 5. I mean, it was nothing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's and someone was like, do you know that like 4, you remember the City Pages?
Of course.
Okay, so like 4 of the old editors of the City Pages have started an online magazine called
yeah.
Racket,
Yes.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
And one of them called me and she was like, "Well, can I do an interview?" And I was like, "Yes, attainable goal." And then she called Maria and she called Lori, and she like, so it's this, you guys, Racket, Minnesota. I'm amazing.
I saw
It is the most gushing. She's like, she's a gift to society. And I was like, okay, thank you. No pressure. And
Well, I mean, along those lines, you do. I mean, she's not exactly wrong. I want to know. I mean, your material, like, you've been leaning a lot into the family stuff. Like
Oh,
all
yeah,
of your brothers and your sister
Yep.
and your dad. Like, I know a lot of them by name now.
right. My Wikipedia is crazy in the fact that.
Or are they on there now?
Well, it was, I don't know, because I didn't know I had a Wikipedia until about 10 years ago. And my brother Russ was like, "Do you know that they have Nancy listed on your
Get outta
Wikipedia?" And I was
here.
like, "I have a Wikipedia page?" And I looked, and I didn't like the photo. So I put on Twitter at the time, I was like, "Who knows how to change a photo on Wikipedia?"
Oh, sure.
Because I didn't like this photo. And
I want to know, what are people like? What are people saying to you after the shows right now with the last hour and even like the new stuff?
well, people, it's so funny about like the dad stuff. Like, I've been doing the dad stuff from the beginning because my father is an interesting character. And much like every other human on the planet, I have had to process having parents, right? Like, because your parents do the best they can. And sometimes it's not good. Sometimes it's done poorly. And so you have to process how much you're mad about that, how much you're willing to forgive. But you have to, like, Nancy Kashian, my stepmother, hilariously, she would always jump from someone did something mean to you have to forgive them without the middle bit
Oh.
where you accept that, sort of you process it. You're like, Yeah, but that was still. Can we discuss briefly that it was rude or hurtful or annoying or hilarious or not okay or criminal, and we should call somebody, right? I mean, you should get to process it, and that's what I've always done with my dad.
Yeah.
Because I just got the one dad. He does marry a lot, so I have three. He has three wives. So I've had to figure out how to like him, right? Because my father is intrinsically sometimes unlikable. Uh, so I've had to figure
Just
out.
hearing you say that is it's like so complicated, but so honest and fascinating. That,
Right.
You know.
Well, I mean, it's like probably 10 years ago, he had a near-death experience.
Oh yeah.
And it has softened him a great deal. It was the first time when he lived through all of that. It was the first time he ever told me he loved me. And he was like, I'm just really grateful that I have kids that are willing to visit me and talk to me. And I was like, to some extent, you should be grateful because, and he's come back to some of the, well, look, you kids are all very successful. And I'm like, and you had some small part in that.
Make sure you rate it on my Father's Day card.
Exactly, and you would like to take credit. But one of my fascinating things is because my siblings will often say that he talks about me a lot and about how great I am. And I was like, interesting, because he never says that to me. But he does talk about how great you are. My father likes to talk to the other siblings about how great the other siblings
It
are.
doesn't need to be a secret.
No.
Yeah.
You could also say, you're great, Russ. You do an amazing job. And also, Darla's great. And Phil's great. And Jackie's great. We got two siblings that are MIA at this point. My oldest brother, who's an evangelist, who is hard to talk to. And then my brother Scott, who likes to take a break from our family for 10 to 20 years at a crack. And
Just a break.
he gets to. He doesn't have to,
Sure.
It's everyone. Don't feel obligated to hang out with your family just because you're related.
That's right.
Though I do call my brother Scott, who lives here in the Twin Cities.
Oh.
And I leave a message for him on his birthday. And then occasionally when I think about him. And he has not returned my calls in 4 years.
Huh.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Because, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't respect him enough to not reach out because I want him to know I still like him,
Mm-hmm.
and he could call if he wanted to, but it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no pressure.
So there was something this is about your dad when you've been saying this on stage. Going out taking him out places, and he tries to tell jokes
Oh,
to
right,
the
right.
clerks,
Yes.
the cashiers.
Yes.
I want to know because my daughter works at Goodwill, and a lot of times she's up at the desk.
That's it. That's one of the places.
And she's on the other side. She's on the other side of the desk where she has
Right.
to go, yeah, oh.
And that's exactly, you're just like, it's it's a joke about the bank and how money grows on trees. And I'm like, you could write a better joke than that.
Is he repeating these because
Yeah.
they got a laugh once?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes. I mean, do you know who Corey Kahaney is?
I do.
Okay,
yeah.
so she tells a joke that she actually clipped out, which I thought was interesting. But she does cruises,
Okay.
but she cracks me up because she's like, I genuinely just do really old people, like people who have been going on cruises for 20 years, so they are now in their late 80s,
Oh, wow.
and they know how to do cruises. And she's like, and I do the stand up, and it's a joke, and there's this old, and so she tells me this joke, this street joke, and I'm like, my father is going to love this joke. It is dirty, but it is also dumb, and it is about how a flasher is going through the park, and there are three older ladies who are sitting on a bench, and he flashes them, and the first old lady has a stroke. And the second old lady has a stroke, but the third old lady can't reach. And
Have you heard him retell it already?
once. And I was like, oh, he's on fire. He's ready. But he can be funny. I mean, there's no reason for it, There's occasionally my chiropractor actually, he knows how much I dislike because people, and it doesn't happen here, and it almost never happens anymore. But there's usually an older guy who'll come up and is like, "I got a joke for you," and
Okay, yeah.
decades ago. A guy in Grand Forks, North Dakota, at the Westward Ho. I was doing a week, and this guy came up. He said, "You're the comic, right?" And I was like, "Yes," because it was a sort of a dive bar that was attached to the Westward Ho room, and I said yes, and he goes, "I have a joke for you," and I said, "Is it racist or sexist?" Huge grin on his face. He goes, "It's both."
It's both. You're in luck.
Anyway.
Yeah. Did you have you ever told a street joke on stage, even like first year comedy, just to have to say something?
Oh no.
No.
But I've often thought about it. It's not a bad tool because there are gigs, right? There are different gigs. You know, you were talking about clean comedy earlier, and there's different kinds of clean comedy. A lot of people think I'm a clean comic. And I can be a clean comic, and I could be a clean comic. Do you know why? Because my brain's attached to my mouth. All you have to do is pay me enough, and I won't swear. I won't do my sex jokes. I won't do bodily function. I don't really do bodily function.
Yeah.
That's not true. I think there was a poop joke at the end of my act. Anyway, I have written one bodily function joke. There you go. And but there's places where a street joke would work, and corporates where you're being paid a lot of money to perform for people that are in a bit of a hostage situation, right?
Yes.
Like Christmas parties for corporations. Those people work together 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
They're now trapped in some sort of dining hall in a Best Western or whatever. They've had drinks and hors d'oeuvres. They've had a meal. They've had their boss and a bunch of people talk about how great the year is. They're half in the bag, but they're trying to not drink too much because they are technically surrounded by their bosses.
Exactly.
And now there's a comic. And so they're like, well, I hope this is fun. And then is it over? And, right? So you're performing for them. You can't really... and the people who hire you are screwed, right? There's not going to be a comic who's going to be beloved by that demographic.
No,
right? Politically, socially, age, hipster, not hipster, black, white, Asian, all disabled, gay, straight. I mean, everybody is everything.
Yeah.
And, if you do a joke that's... like the other night, I tell 4 stories at once.
Go for it.
I got to meet Sean Sherman, the guy who owns Owami. And we both did that live wire thing in Portland.
Yeah.
And Owami is a Native American restaurant here in the Twin Cities. And we were standing next to each other outside the theater afterwards and waiting for our lifts to take us back to our hotels. And he said how much he enjoyed my set. And I said... Great. One day, you may hear a joke that I wrote a dozen years ago about Native American restaurants and Indian casinos and Native American frozen foods. And he's like, remember that joke?
I was looking at some stuff earlier today, and I saw that track. Yes.
It
Crazy.
may or may not hold up, is what I said to him. I said, but you should remember that my heart was in the right place at the time. And I said, think Will and Grace.
Oh.
Will and Grace doesn't necessarily hold up,
No.
but it did a valuable, it did the heavy lifting of 2006 of making gay people human. And so...
Yeah, that's a great point.
And I was like, grain of salt if you end up hearing my weird Sacagawedes reference. And see how sad that makes you. And say, well, all right. And he was very polite, and he said, I will keep that in mind.
It's funny that it just even came to your mind. That like,
It's just me classic. I don't have a lot of white guilt. What I have currently is white awareness.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that I don't necessarily think that I caused all the problems, but I think that I could perpetuate them, or somehow make them happen less.
Yeah.
Right? I could fight them, or I could make them be worse, and I would prefer not to be the latter.
Yeah. Yeah.
In an ideal world.
You mentioned we've mentioned Lori Kilmartin, podcast co-host of yours, the Jackie and Lori Show.
Sure.
And then before we started talking, Lewis was out here. You mentioned the
air purifier.
air purifier that she.
Yes, because she brings. Lori has a very specific history with COVID-19
She does.
from 2019. Her mother passed away of it before the vaccine. And she essentially had to watch her die on an iPad.
Oh yeah.
Very sad, very traumatic. And so Lori, huge fan of an air purifier and masking. To some might say to excess. Other people would say, guess who's never had it? Lori Kilmartin. Now, so she brought an air purifier here to this club, and it was on this stage, and she accidentally left it. And so when I left Los Angeles, she said to me, hey, why don't you bring that back? And I said, I will ask if they still own it, if they have donated it to somebody, or if
She's replaced it by now, hasn't she?
you would think. And then, and I said, and I have to sell enough merch to make room for it. And I've been trying to. By the way, speaking of merch, I have I talk about how angry I am right now, and just full of rage. Adult human woman. There's no reason not to be. And so I sell T-shirts and beanies that say "Made of Bees" because I say that I am made of bees inside. It feels like there's a lot of bees inside of me that go out with punching. I just want to punch everybody. Anyway, so I was looking into getting rid of the beanie and getting a ski mask, a balaclava.
Yeah.
As we get more into the hands-on part of our Civil War, people might want a balaclava, and it's so funny because they're union made. It took me 2 years to find union made beanies.
Oh yes.
Union made balaclavas that I can afford because each beanie costs me $15.
Holy moly.
Which is why I charge $30 because it's just like Trader Joe's. They're just double the price. Anyway, but the balaclavas, I'm getting a price on that, but nobody can figure out where to put the bee because essentially it has a bee on the forehead, and then it says it might say made of bees, and then it has my website.
Yeah.
And if you put it there, when you pull the balaclava, if you have it that when it's a beanie and you pull down the balaclava, it'll scratch your neck, just the inside of it.
Oh,
but
no.
if it's there and you pull it down, it'll be hidden when it's a beanie, and you're like, I don't care this much to some extent, and do I want it to be when you're defending the Constitution? Do I want people to say, oh, JackieKashian.com. That's where they purchased that.
Oh my God.
And I was talking to my husband, and he goes, yeah, you do. You want them to come and get us. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, okay, all right.
Wow.
He's,
I listened to some Jackie and Lori
Lori's?
shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you're doing some shows like in Indianapolis. There's going to be a board game
the board
convention
game.
near this while you're there.
The biggest board game convention in the United States, Gen Con.
And I have to know, does your husband walk around as a celebrity at these places?
He does not.
He does not.
He would love to be a celebrity at one of these places, but he said that some fans of mine have signed up for his games because they know that he's my husband. So that's kind of cool.
Because he's hosting,
Yeah, because he's got his play tests. Because he has written, he has a hero tabletop role playing book that he's working to publish this year or next, and he runs essentially sample games of it, and at conventions he runs the module forum. Is essentially 2 tables of 5. One is you could play any Marvel. You play like a Marvel team, and then the other one plays a DC team, and then there's a parallel universe swap, and the characters have to move between the 2 teams. The other one that he wrote was an Alpha Flight Great Lakes Avengers mashup, where they have to. I don't want to give it away, but Great Lakes Avengers is so cool if you know anything about Marvel, because they're essentially the Avengers team that is never in continuity because they're lame. The famous Great Lakes Avengers is Squirrel Girl.
Oh,
Yes, Squirrel Girl's in Great Lakes Avengers. Oh, an applause.
we got a fan in the back.
Fan of Squirrel
Kevin's
Girl.
a Squirrel Girl fan.
That's it, Kevin. That's all you got to do. Go to Sheboygan, Wisconsin, where the Great Lakes Avengers are stationed. And
We finally got Kevin. Squirrel Girl. Who knew?
But I will say, Mr. Immortal was in She-Hulk, I think, because the TV show She-Hulk.
Oh.
And Mr. Immortal is in. Mr. Immortal doesn't have any superpowers except for that he cannot be killed, and that is, I mean, so. But he's not strong or anything. He's not smart. He's not.
Just
fast.
takes a beating.
He just literally. I always wanted to write a comic book about how he would be used for corporate espionage. That was his corporate gig because he could, if they ever caught him and killed him, he would just come back and go, "Hey, I still have the recipe for that."
You didn't beat that out of me.
Exactly. I
Kill
still
that out of
remember.
me.
Right. I still remember the safety deposit box where I put all the information you wanted. Please make the check out to Mr. Immortal Inc. And
There's one more question I have to ask because I
Okay.
love asking this. You recorded the special that's out now. We talked about that in Portland?
Portland, Oregon. I usually do it here.
Right. And this is what I like to ask. Did anything go wrong at the recordings? There's like a weird thing like, what? I can't believe this happened.
Yes. It was very annoying, actually.
Uh-oh.
Is because I had it in a black box theater called the Siren, which I love. She moved the stage. The reason I picked the black box theater, the Siren, is because it was essentially a rectangle and there's a balcony. And it's only seats 100, right? It's a 99, it's a black box. And so here, when initially the stage is here, the balcony's here. So I was hoping for some long up high shots, right?
Yeah.
She moved the stage to the side so that it became a wide.
Oh.
And so there was no camera up high because there was no reason.
Yeah.
And so the camera's straight on and from the sides. And so it's a shallow shot instead of any sort of a long shot. And I've gained some weight, and there's the aging process. I look best from above. And
I wasn't trying to go here, Jackie.
oh no,
Jeez.
and I know, and it's not really even conversation. So, but the thing is, as you said, what didn't you like about it?
Yeah.
It was my least favorite thing.
Yeah.
And I tried to hire someone to do clothing. To help me pick clothing.
Wardrobe?
Wardrobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I tend to dress in the dark and then just walk out.
I am always
And-
curious about this as well. So
Yeah, and we had scheduling issues, and so I ended up picking my clothing,
Oh.
and it wasn't great.
Oh.
It was but other people have liked my clothing. People I respect have told me that it's the best album that I've done so far and best special I've done so far. That the material is incredibly smart and funny,
Yes.
and I just have to say thank you very much. How about I shut the fuck up and say thank you very much? I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, when Lori was here, I saw you work that material over a few years, so I got to see it. you
Yeah.
know, leading up
Grow.
to it, I've since seen the special.
Oh, good.
Fantastic.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I
you
appreciate that.
deserve all of the praise you're getting about it. It's really good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And one final thing, come see shows this week. I don't know how quick we'll probably get this out in the next 24 hours, so there'll still be some shows left. Come out and see Jackie and Brandy Brown.
That's
It's an
it.
awesome show.
And
You'll hear
maybe John Deboer. You don't know.
you won't know, and he might not even know.
In case of emergency, break glass.
Thank you.